Hey everyone, it's about time for another thought of the day video. We got two more shelves left. I'm still, let's see, we back from the holiday break yet? As I record this, it's January 2nd. So, yeah, I hope you guys had a great holiday. I enjoyed a little break, and I got a couple work trips for our annual all-staff conference. So I'm going to make a couple more of these videos to tide us over and buy me a little bit of time, finish up the tour through our library, and be able to go from there. So I hope you guys had a good holidays. I'm dressed for game day today. So we play the Chiefs today. By the time this video posts, you'll know how it went. That'd be a huge win today. Lock up the playoffs for us. But somebody had some tickets, so I'm going to take my son to the game today. And we're probably not going to win, but we might put up a good showing. And we're probably headed to the playoffs, so we'll see. Sorry, I talk about Bengals on almost every single one of these videos, but 'tis the season. And we're usually not this good, so there you go. Anyway, what do we got today? Let me turn the camera around and head to, I don't even know how many shelves we got. What do we got? 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Shelf number 8. All right, let's do it. I'm going to turn the camera around. All right, so here we are in the last library. This is my downstairs library in my podcast room. We did that shelf in our last video right there, shelf number, what I believe should be 7. So we got to do this shelf in the middle here, shelf number 8. Let's see. I thought these videos were probably going to be frustrating and throwaways, but a lot of you have really appreciated these videos. So I appreciate the appreciation. I'm glad that you guys have found it whatever, useful, fun, entertaining. I don't know what, but check this out. That's what we got up here. Got a poem that one of my best friends wrote, like right when I was like years and years ago, right as I was waking up to just the issues of social justice and things like poverty and homelessness and just becoming awake to things that I wasn't awake to before. And she wrote this poem, and I still have it here in my library. It's really cool. I would read it, but that would take some time, wouldn't it? Let's see. I don't know. Should we read it? This was written by, her name's not on it, but Amber Miller. Amber Miller. When she wrote this, she was Amber Ulrich. But let's see here. What a world we live in, a world ran by a system, tangling us in a web we weave, searching for something to believe. Church buildings, steeples reaching to the sky, no matter the religion in which class they lie, are ran by the web of a system. They trap us in the word Christian. Anyway, pretty good. If I do this, you could pause the video and read it. So feel free to pause. I should be uploading this in a high enough definition. You should probably be able to read that. So there you go. Amber Miller. Awesome. I don't want to take the time to read that whole thing, but I hope everybody else does. Okay, let's see here. There's a picture of us on our wedding day. Who's that? Dumb Marty wearing white. I probably wouldn't have done that if I did that again, but the frustrating person I was in my youth. Nevertheless, greatest day. One of the greatest days of my life. A little drum given to me by the same guy who gave me half of this library. Time that he spent over in Kenya. And then check this out, huh? This is young Marty. So that's young Marty's mom and dad. Marty and Marty's sister. Look at that. How old am I in that picture? Man, I'm probably, oh man, the denim. Check out the denim. Look at those kicks, man. Whew. But man, I don't know how. Let's see, my sister's gonna probably be late high school, so if she's in 11th or 12th grade, I'm in 4th or 5th. Yeah, I'm probably late. I'm probably late elementary, early junior high in that photo. Somewhere in there. She might have been out of high school. I can't tell. Anyway, what fun. Let's see what I got here. Got a few little books here that are actually a tag of, I have a history section. So this is all going to be Christian history. And we'll do most of that in the next video, but I ran out of room, so I ended up putting like these 3 extra books up here. So have not read these. There's Fox's Book of the Martyrs. It's a pretty famous famous, whatever. It's a pretty well-known record there of martyrdom. And then I have like a Jesus, my Christology section. I don't know if it would technically be Christology, but books on the person of Jesus, books on the historical Jesus. So I've read a bunch of these, and they're just super great. I don't know if I cannot remember if I've read that one. Not a huge, I usually really love Leonard Sweet. This was not my favorite Leonard Sweet book. Names of Jesus was okay. And then, man, Lois Tuerberg, just huge. This book had some incredible stuff in it. It also had some stuff that just irritated me. But, so it didn't get a recommendation because there was enough of that. But man, some amazing manuscript theory in here. Let's see here. What do we got? This is a great historical fiction book. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'd say great. I enjoyed that historical fiction read. Let's see here. Some books by Robbie Gallaty. David Biven is amazing. David Biven is actually connected to the same group of people that are working here. So this book and that book are kind of connected in a long distance sense. Dallas Willard, Divine Conspiracy, so good. Let's see what else we got here. Book on the Sermon on the Mount by, was it Stassen? Yes, Stassen. The Last Week by Borg and Crossan. Excellent book. I know people don't love them as scholars, but I do. I think their scholarship's fantastic. I don't agree with every single thing they've ever written. Let's see. I don't think I've read any of these. I have not read N.T. Wright's Jesus yet. Christology in Context. I've not read Schnockenberg. Let's see here. The All-Inclusive Christ. I cannot remember how I felt about that one. But I did read it, right? Did I read that or did I not read that? Oh, I haven't read that one yet. Well, maybe I have. Hold on. I did. Yes, I did read that one. Man, I cannot remember how I felt about that one. Shoot. Oh, Witness Lee. Maybe that was... I don't know. I cannot remember how I felt about that one now. Cannot remember that book. Let's see here. Jesus I Never Knew by Yancey. Excellent, 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 excellent. Oh, yep. More N.T. Wright. Who we got over here? Is this Witherington? Jesus. Yep, Witherington. Haven't read that one either. I just inherited some of those, and I'm really excited about them. And we talked about this in the last video. This is just the continuation of that same Christian history, early church fathers series. So very, very, very excited about using that, getting into that. And then a whole bunch of Christian history. So I've read a bunch of these, actually, believe it or not, guys. This was my textbook in Bible college for Old Testament history. And it wasn't that bad, actually. Didn't mind that one at all. Liked the teacher of that class, too, Dr. Greenlee. Have not read that one or the 5 dialogues. Plato. Okay, I haven't looked into that work by Plato. I did read the complete works of Philo. That was intense. I read the complete works of Josephus. That was intense. I have not read... I inherited these just recently, so haven't read... I've had this one for a while, but have not read it yet. I can't go over. Got to stay on the right shelf, everybody. Some people giving me some Getty photos. I think this is just like random church theology. This is like a random miscellaneous shelf is what this is. So everything from like The Nature and Destiny of Man by Niebuhr. I don't know if I've read any of these. I think I've read The Tabernacle. I think I've read that one. I don't think I've read any of these. I did. Oh, Evolution of Adam by P. Enns. Excellent book, guys. That was really good. I cannot believe that Kennedy wrote James Kennedy, Dr. James Kennedy. He's a TBN guy, but this was actually a really... There was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't like in it, but if you could weed through what's right, what's good and bad, that was actually a really good book on the biblical zodiac. And we talk about that in the podcast. So let's see here. And then a bunch of stuff on angels that I haven't read. Randy Alcorn's Heaven. I don't believe I'm going to be a fan. I remember looking at that. I've never owned a copy until recently. I don't think I'm in love with that book. And by I don't mean I'm in love with that book. I mean I don't think I like that one. I've not gotten into this one. Big, huge book on the history of the slave trade. Oh, let's go down. And I assume that's the American slave trade. It could be some other historical. I'll have to get into that book and find out. Purpose-driven church. Look at this shelf. Oh, boy. Those were the days, weren't they? When those were hot off the press. Bunch of stuff here that I haven't read. There's a lot of stuff here I'm not in love with. There's some church growth stuff in here. And I was never in love with church growth. Church is a team sport, not all that fantastic. Seeker, small groups. Yeah, I mean, they were just kind of like, relational community. I'm trying to remember if I thought, no, creating community. That one might have been one of the better ones that I enjoyed. I can't remember. Risking Church. I remember that one. It was okay. Radical Reformation. Is that Driscoll? Sure is. If anybody's listening to the Rise and Fall of Mars Hill. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff in my library that I don't love because you got to know why. You got to read it and you got to give it a chance and you got to think critically about it. And you can't just be like, oh, well, that's good and that's bad and that person's a heretic and this person, well, nope. You got to actually read it. You got to know whether or not people are and why. This is a great book, building discipling culture. I don't know if I'd say great, but I'm hard to please when it comes to disciple books, and that one was a decent one. Mike Breen, if I remember correctly. Robbie Gallaty's book on discipleship, that was actually a pretty good one. I think I recommended that one even. I'm hard to please when it comes to, have not read this one by Yancey, but Yancey usually has some really good stuff that I enjoy. And then a bunch of stuff that I haven't read. Is this one a match made in heaven? Which one is this one? This was just a fictional, fun read, but golly, I thought that book was entertaining. Yeah, more of a fictional take on Jesus playing, or a guy that dies and gets to play a round of golf with all these biblical characters. And I can't remember if Jesus is hole 18. I can't remember, but anyway, it was a pretty fun read. And then a whole bunch of like American church history. So Protestant history. There's some books on Lutheranism, Methodism, the Christian church, Stone Campbell movement, all kinds of stuff. This was our college textbook. I know I got a bunch of people from the Stone Campbell movement that listen to my stuff. Union and Truth by North, I believe, right? Yep. And that was our text, and I still think it did a decent job. Quakers, all kinds of stuff down there. Seventh-day Adventists. And then there's like a section like Calvinism, anti-Calvinism section here. Your short little summary of Tulip. Oh man, so great. Those were the days. Look, an extra copy of Union and Truth. That's my wife's copy, actually. That's my wife's. We went to Bible college together, so that was my copy, and that's my wife's copy. That's funny. Bunch of old books I haven't read yet. And then, yeah, so that's that. Let me turn my camera around again. All right, everybody, the light's going to be horrible down here on the floor, but that's shelf number 8. There's some really good stuff, and maybe some of the worst stuff that I've shown you all on the same shelf. So, man, that was fun. That was a good little tour. So, hope you enjoyed that. Maybe got a chance to read that poem. I hope if you pause the video, you can read it. That'd be fun. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add there. Got one more shelf left. We'll do that in a week or two. And then we'll be done with the tour through Marty's library. And we'll go from there. All right? Okay, everybody. Talk to you later.